Welcome or welcome back, beautiful familia, to the channel. I am 𝐏𝐸, your medicine woman, and today we're doing another moon energy update video. We're going to be talking about the Leo new moon that's coming up on August 16th, 2023, and how it will affect you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. This video is going to be going over a card reading. We're going to go into channel messages, both collectively and personally to you. If you're a Leo, let me know down below. If you're not a Leo, still let me know how you're feeling during this Leo new moon. And also, if you're new and this is our first time meeting, I would love to get to know you. So put a rainbow emoji, introduce yourself. Yes, I read every single comment, so I would love to get to know you. And it dearly just makes it more personable instead of just me talking to you and we just don't know each other. So can you please let me know down below? And before we get into the video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells. I know a lot of y'all keep coming back, but you're not subscribed. So if you feel like you align, if you feel like your heart loves this space, it would mean a lot just to help and support the collective of not only working with the moon and the full moon, but also to work in community. There's a lot of big shifts collectively in the next few years, and my intention on this channel is really to bring community on a whole other level. There's some exciting things coming up, and I would love for you to be part of that, for you, for me, for all those connected, and for the future new earth. So exciting. A couple other things. I am opening my one-on-one sessions for this fall. So if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, or maybe there's a time where right now you're in a space of wanting healing or support, you can just email me through my link tree in my description box down below. And lastly, my last retreat is still open, Untold Stories retreat, that's happening at the end of November. It's an ancestral retreat. You can apply down below and fill out the application. If it aligns, I will reach out to you and let you know. It's a limited spot medicine healing, plant medicine healing retreat, and it's a 1 week of deep healing to you and for all your ancestors. It's a very potent, very mystical retreat that we host. So I'd love to see you there. And then if you want to learn more about what I do throughout and how to support and be part of community, just add yourself to the email list. Now let's get into the Leo new moon. Guys, when I was channeling this one, it was like, it's a deep one. It's like no joke one. Like this one's really deep. I'm a Leo moon, so I definitely feel like this one's going to be, it's always a potent one for me, but it's also a celebratory one. So I'm curious for those who have Leos in your placement, like how are y'all feeling? Or if you have a Leo in your life, maybe let me know how they're affecting you, because I feel like at the end of the day, no matter if you're that sign, it still affects you. So let's get into that. Let's kind of go into what to expect for this Leo new moon that's happening on August 16th, 2023, 3 days before, the day of, 3 days after. I say this because it's not just the day of the new moon, but for those who are new here, it's a full week. So you feel the energy of it coming up. And new moon is all about new beginnings. So this new moon is really focusing on the entrance of the heart. And it's really, really potent. So the first thing you need to know is, are you afraid of being in the spotlight versus being in the spotlight for validation? Leo are proud lion. Hear me roar, I'm here, like to make an entrance. You know, you guys probably see a lot of the videos online, the jokes that they say about Leos, like I do feel like that stands true, some of it, a little bit exaggerated, but all this to say for the means of this video is this new moon is calling us to understand where have we been maybe shining away from the spotlight because we feel uncomfortable. And as I talk about this, I see a wasp outside my window coming right behind my camera and it's not leaving. And wasps are a great representation of abundance, community, which is very important for this specific part, and the essence of working together. So here it's saying, how are you probably in your communities, in your family, in your friendships, at work? What does being in the spotlight feel like to you? Do you feel shy in the spotlight? Do you feel weird when someone gives you a compliment, when someone's giving you something? Is it hard for you to receive those things? New moon in Leo is calling us to recognize that where maybe we felt bad to receive that love, to receive that recognition for our work. Maybe we were told that we have to work harder as our younger self, or we had to show up a different way, or there was this perfectionism. It was never enough. That keeps coming. Like I hear, it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's someone else that those words resonate with, that have put those words on you to make a huge impact. But I'm definitely saying for those who feel afraid or uncomfortable to receive something from someone, it could be a partner, it could be a stranger, if someone does an offering for you or a gesture for you, like there's that discomfort. I used to be so like that all the time. Let me know if you resonate with this, where I would reject gifts. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But it was because I didn't like being appreciated. I didn't think I was enough to be appreciated. And where in your life do you feel with this Leo new moon that you feel like you weren't appreciated, or who am I? Who am I to be appreciated? And for those of you who struggle with feeling self-confidence, or feeling like you're worthy, or feeling what's it called? Imposter syndrome that comes up. Any of those are resonating, put a hand emoji down below and let me know where that stands in your life. Because when you start to recognize these triggers and what I'm sharing with you, you are now responding to the universe of something that is already alive with you, and also the stories that you've created behind that. So we're asking ourselves with this Leo new moon, where are we rejecting our own inner spotlight? Woo! Okay, that's the end of the video. I'm joking. But where are we rejecting our inner spotlight? Because it's not people who are rejecting you. It's not people that are judging you. It's not your parents. It's not your partner. It's not the stranger. It's not the person at work who probably gives you the side eye. Like, it's none of that. It is you creating a story from that space. And I've talked about this a lot recently with my videos, the story. What is that, 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭? As far as the new moon in Leo, stories are in the sense of things that we tell ourselves that are attached to experiences, reactions, traumas, and so much more, right? And also the mind is a very powerful tool in this world, and where the mind can tell us, who are we to be in the spotlight? Now, on the other side of that, some of you are going to experience during this new moon in Leo, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, August 16th, 2023, being in the spotlight for validation, coming from the ego. This idea that you want to be in attention, you know, the Leo energy, like, yes, talk about me, love me, yes, I'm the best, yes, I'm this. But it's also tuning into, a lot of the times, the people who have that alpha energy, that energy of presenting, and we see, well, how is that? How is my friend so confident? How is this person doing this? Sometimes those are the people that have the most uncertainty and the most discomfort in spotlight. So their coping mechanism is, yes, let me be in the spotlight. So it's understanding what is the difference between true, authentic receiving, true, authentic like recognition and being seen, as opposed to feeling like I can't be seen and let me try to get attention. Right? And that's the little child within you that I'm hearing. I'm seeing the little child that wants mom, that wants dad to look at me, listen to me. I want attention. I want to be loved. You're not giving me the love that I need. We all understand, or if you don't know, there's love languages. You can look up on Google the love language test and maybe do it with your partner, with yourself, or with your family or a friend, and get to know their love language. But most importantly, get to know your love language. This changes my clients' life all the time whenever I work with them, especially when I'm working around relationships. So with the new moon in Leo, it's talking about this false projection. You are projecting your uncertainty, and that will be revealed with truth with this new moon in Leo through the wound of feeling abandoned, the wound of feeling, and I'm going to go over all these later in another point I shared, the wound of what part of my wounded ego wants validation right now, and what part of my wounded ego has now created it as power when it's actually false power. And the beauty of this new moon in Leo is now you're getting to learn and getting to tap into what that spotlight, what that love, what do you truly want, how do you truly want to be seen and felt and respected, and where does that come from in your heart when you can allow that heart to be fully vulnerable. It's beautiful. It's like poetry. So let me know if that resonates with you, with the spotlight of validation, and if you felt that, because most likely if your inner child, your young child self was like that, there was a part of you that felt like you probably weren't seen, that you weren't recognized, that you weren't getting the love that you needed, the need that you needed. And maybe some people thought otherwise, right? The next thing you need to know about this new moon in Leo that's happening on August 16th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, and how it will affect you, is receiving recognitions for projects you have been working on for a while. So for a lot of you, as you guys know, I did a recent video. If you haven't checked it out, I would suggest you checking it out, even though the date has passed, August 8th, 2023, the Lionsgate 88 portal. I did a full breath work with you guys live, and it was like, it's amazing. So this is really talking about the project of, we've been working on something for a while, and a lot of you, for some of you, you haven't been seeing the recognition. So maybe for some of you, this was a time where you started a new business. Maybe for some of you, you've been trying to do new habits. It could be like a new habit that you've done. Maybe you're changing the way you're eating. Maybe you're changing your screen time, something simple like that. Maybe you're starting to go for a walk outside. Maybe you're going to the gym again. Maybe you're starting to date people and going online dating or something. So whatever it is, there's like projects or things, ways that you've been putting yourself out there. And I want you to ask, when I'm talking to you about this, like, has there been an area of your life where you've been putting yourself out there and you haven't really yet seen the results? Now, there's two invitations with this new moon of Leo. New moon's all about new, setting new intentions. And it's really understanding that for some of you, you are going to get a message 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Wherever you're putting your attention, wherever attention goes, it grows, right? And when it doesn't grow, what does that mean? Sheikah, I try to manifest. I try to do this. That means that maybe 1, rejection is the way that the universe is trying to protect you. 2, maybe right now is not the human time. And 3, maybe there's something better for you. If it's not this, it's something better, right? So the new moon in Leo is making you recognize. Remember, we talked about like being afraid of being in the spotlight, being afraid of validation, like being in that validation out of ego, like all those aspects. So recognition is, how can I be recognized? How can I myself recognize my work, my worth, my being, my heart, my efforts? And what does that look like for me? And the universe is going to give you a response, right? After the Lion's Gate, it's all about abundance, clearing that out. It's about fast tracking and quantum leaping into the spiritual awakenings of your abundant codes. When I mean abundant codes, I mean things that your soul is meant to receive abundantly for this human experience that you weren't even aware of, and the Lion's Gate is unlocking it through your body. Like, I'm just seeing like a full lock with like codes being unlocked in the center of your soul and your solar plexus, and it's expanding through your body. So as you're watching this, as we're approaching the new moon in Leo, it's still being activated, it's still being opened, you're still going through that. So all this to say, this new moon's all gonna open up and give you a response. Wherever you're putting your energy in, whatever projects, whatever things you're working on, ask yourself, where have you been putting the most of your energy since, you know, the Leo full moon till the Leo new moon now? So go back to your journal when the Leo full moon happened, which would be 6 months ago, and see the recognition, see the comparison, what has shifted, where has your attention been going through, right? Where has it been landing? Because this is where people who, you know, at this time, this is where you need to look at those places. And if you feel like you're struggling, or you feel like there's kind of a disconnect, the universe is asking you, and you will get a divine message. It will be through a dream. Please write this down. Check your dreams during this time. It might be through a meditation. It might be through angel numbers 777, 111, 888. Those numbers are coming up. Write that down. You might see it through there. And when those numbers come up, you ask yourself, what am I doing right now? What am I feeling? And what is going on right now in my energetic field? That's going to give you the answers, okay? The next thing to also do, as far as recognizing your projects and getting more guidance, find mentors and people that are going to support you, people who are already doing the thing. You know, one of the biggest things that's coming up for me is, I remember when I was starting my journey and space holding, I was having a really hard time getting to where I need to be. Like feeling like, who am I to hold space for people? When I started like years ago, who am I to do all these things? right? And then I started to notice, wait a minute, the people I should be asking these questions, the people I should be getting the guidance are the ones that are doing it from their heart, the ones that are devoted and in integrity of their work, of wherever my energy is going. And at the time, my energy was going to learning how to tap into my gifts, right? So what I did is I found mentors, and those mentors came from actual mentors that I ended up hiring to support me. And sometimes it was mentors of people in my life, like my partnerships, my relationships, that they were my biggest mentors because they were teaching me and they saw all parts of me of what I needed to recognize about how I was feeling uncertain myself, how I was feeling like my wounded ego was trying to get validation and getting triggered and, you know, lashing out, that fiery Leo energy, right? So we look at that, and in the new moon in Leo, we're really being asked to really revisit who are our mentors, who are the people that we're looking up to. For some of us, we're recognizing in this new moon in Leo that maybe the people we looked up to aren't the people that we're meant to look up to, right? When I started doing my shadow work, I noticed that Leo, like as a Leo and that energy, that a lot of the times we actually look up to the people that are attached to our trauma. Boom, 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 boom. I just gave you the answer right there. Let that sit for a second. Your mentors, your people that you looked up to are the people that are your trauma. Now, when we just had the Lionsgate portal, what happened? We got triggered. We were recognizing the people before us, the ancestors that gridded our being of abundance. Now the new moon Leo is inviting us, okay, what did we learn from that? And how are we starting the new page? So here it's asking you to recognize, start to rewrite who your mentors are. Who are the people you look up to, right? Because the people you used to look up to are connected to the old shadow, the old coding of you. And now it's time to look for people who are going to be aligned, who are going to bring you to where you want to be, and you're ready for that. You're so ready for that. I was not expecting to channel that, but that is some potent things for you. Let me know if this is resonating for you. Your mentor is your trauma, and now it's time to clear that, because that trauma, that shadow, that part of you, that's why you're on the hamster wheel, no longer lives. So why are we trying to water a plant that has died, right? Because again, that is why we feel this confusion. That's why we go back to the validation of our ego wounded self. It's being triggered. It's trying to be revived, right? And that's where the block is for a lot of us sometimes. I just gave you guys some deep, deep stuff. Like that was some deep stuff. So let that sit. Maybe rewatch this too, because I feel like that was good. The magic sauce is love and kindness. And you're also going to recognize another thing about this new moon in Leo that's happening August 16th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, and how it's going to affect you is that as you step into your projects, for some of you that are during this new moon in Leo that are going to get that abundance, you're going to start to feel yourself shifting around this time. Woo, we love that, Shika. Thank you for sharing something positive. We love that. So you guys are going to start shifting, right? And this is where I like to say we find two types of people in our world. We find the people who are going to be with us through the gritty, through the everything, the people who are our mentors and our cheerleaders, and you're going to find the people that get triggered. And because your wounded ego is taking at rest and it's done its job, and now you're stepping into your heart, which is what the Leo new moon's all about, and being in the spotlight from your heart, from the highest good of love and kindness, they get triggered. So we start to see the people around us in their true colors. And I'm going to go back to this for a collective reading about this new moon in Leo that we're going to be sensing. But the magic sauce, remember, if someone's triggering you with anger, resentment, jealousy, what do? Kindness and love. You know, I always tell people whenever someone's mean to me, the biggest and the best thing to do is kindness and love. Because at that point, you know that whatever the person is projecting at you, that's actually them. Their judgment, their call for validation, their criticism is from the lens of their experience. And when we see ourselves being triggered by that, we ask ourselves two things. One, what part of that do I believe is true? And two, they're a mirror of me and I'm a mirror of them. So we're giving ourselves permission for something. So the moment you get to share love and kindness in a response, take a breath, take a moment, see and ask yourself, how can I be in the spotlight of love for this situation, for this project, for this test of the universe, for my heart, and kindness? Then we're noticing we're giving them permission to also do the same. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just hitting it off today for you guys. Today's a good day. It's sunny. The trees behind you guys. Feeling good. The lighting's on point. I've been loving this space. Usually I'm recording in my other space with you guys, but I've been loving this vibe. It's been good. We're loving it. Let's go into the next thing you need to know about this new moon in Leo, August 16th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Is, do you have any fears of someone criticizing you on your direction of life? Sharing your feelings from your heart or being seen by the public eye? Some of you are showing a new you and it terrifies you for others to see it. New story, excitement, waiting to be unleashed beyond the power that you have not yet met. That was the channel message. Let me break that down for you guys. In this new moon in Leo that's happening August 16th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, what's coming up for this new moon is it's calling us to really tune into, is there anything in your life that you have not done, or you have not devoted fully, or you have not shown up? And be honest. Be honest, guys. There's no judgment here. You know I love you. You know we love you. Is there anything in this space that you feel, that in deep inside of you, you feel like if you were fully in the spotlight? And this is something I want to share with you guys, a great exercise. I want you to think of the biggest dream, the biggest thing that your soul really wants from your heart. And I want to envision yourself on stage. And this is a great hypnotherapy practice that I've done with clients. I'm going to give this for you guys to do. Close your eyes, and as you are standing in front of millions of people, and I want you to take a little moment, because a lot of people envision this and they're actually thinking of 1,000, but I want you to tune into what 1,000,000 people look up. Just go on Google and say 1,000,000 people arena to feel that energy, and then close your eyes and do the meditation. The next step you're going to do for this practice, for this new moon in Leo, is you're then going to, sorry, my phone locked. And I have the notes here. You are then going to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, you're going to envision those millions of people, and those millions of people are cheering you on. They're like, yes, you're amazing. They're saying all the things as you're in the spotlight. Can you receive the love? Can you receive the support? Can you receive the recognition? Now, those same words I said, you're going to envision that same thing, and you saying that same thing, and you being in that spotlight and envisioning everything, and the millions and millions of people watching you, but they're going to feel the opposite energy. You're going to feel the people booing you, throwing tomatoes at you, saying things to you that are mean. I know this is crazy, right? Notice if your energy shifts. Notice what shifts within you. Notice where in your body you're feeling the energy. We went from one energy to the opposite. And the biggest test in this universe and for the collective right now is that no matter what and what way the spotlight responds to you, can you still be in your light? Can you still be in your love? And there's a lot of tests that collectively the universe is showing us that, right? Whether we're seeing this in collectively through war, disagreement, hate, we've seen this historically, we're seeing it in our world, you know, judgment, divide, all these things, and collectively it's understanding what is being shown during this new moon in Leo on a collective level of the spotlight, both the light and the shadow. Something that I've been really tuning into more and more on a collective level, especially after I just got back from the jungle on my dieta. It really showed me the essence of that, and I want to share that with you guys. I want to share you this wisdom. So when you tune into that, I then want you to ask yourself, what shifted for you when the validation was good and when the validation was quote unquote bad, which is not bad, right? And if you can allow yourself to be in that energy of love and practice this every day, during this new moon in Leo, I trust you. Your energy, your light body is going to expand quantumly. Because the moment you tap into recognizing the biggest fear of you being criticized, of you being recognized, and that no matter what the projection and the reaction will be, the new moon in Leo is teaching you, what can you do to ground your energy? What can you do to still be in that love and kindness? What can you do to still show up for yourself? What can you do to still be whatever you came here to do? And this is not just in purpose. We're talking about how your health, we're talking about everyday rituals, because life is the ceremony. We're talking about being a mother, a father, a guardian. We're talking about going to school. We're talking about going to work. We're talking about a lifestyle. We're talking about anything that you do in your everyday life. When someone recognizes that, why does your energy shift? And to create new habits and new ways to regulate the nervous system with the Leo new moon to support you so you don't have to shut down your light. That is the biggest key for this new moon in Leo. And I also mentioned on the last end is like tuning into what terrifies us, right? Because when we can see the fear so deeply, we are then allowing ourselves to unleash the power of excitement that our soul is here to blast open and that we're scared of seeing. But the moment that we recognize and we're like, no, I'm not scared to see it, I'm ready to fully be it, you are now also giving that person permission. Even if during this new moon in Leo you do get that criticism, you're giving them permission to look at that, and you're giving yourself permission to also look at that. So this is why deeply, a lot of what I'm sharing with the new moon and full moons, I'm showing you a collective understanding. It's not just a personal, because like I said, and I mentioned this in the last video, a lot of you guys were interested. She could share more about what's to come. The year 2027 is a very potent year. It is understanding that everything we do, shadow work, healing, expansion, whether you're a healer or not, and that word is just so egotistical sometimes, because it really is, everyone is. It doesn't make you special. You know, I don't want to say that in a bad way, but it's true. Like everyone is, right? You are, I am. That's the truth. What makes it special is that when everyone recognizes that they are themselves also that healer for them, not out of validation, not out of the spotlight of the ego, the wounded ego, but rather to just be in the spotlight of love through that essence. What happens is then you are then, through healing yourself, through being in the spotlight for yourself, through receiving, you're now giving that string, that cord, that clearing permission to the complete collective that we are all connected to. So I hope that sinks in. I know that was deep, but all this to say is that this new moon in Leo is really teaching us, where do we shift our energy and our light when we're being criticized, and to create new habits and rituals to help ground our nervous system to do so, to help ground our hearts to be in that space. There's so much more I want to share, so I want to go through all the downloads with you guys. The next thing that I want to share for this new moon in Leo that's happening on August 16th, 2023 is that connect with people in your life that you look up to for advice and support. So I kind of shared this already. This will help you with clarity to make decisions on your contribution to the collective purpose. Again, once you've recognized the false mentors, the false ideas and realities that you look up to, that you think are heart-led, and you crash these and create something new, and you start to water the true heart-led garden that you have within you, you start to see clearer, right? So a lot of you that might feel confusion during this new moon, or maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, this is an opportunity to lean into that. And I'll share more about the main emotions that are going to come up for this new moon, but you're going to really learn into that. So again, really looking into the realistic and heart-led mentors that are meant for your soul, that are not attached to your trauma. Now, this Leo new moon is also going to be affecting the one chakra the most, which, as you have known based on the language I've been saying, the heart chakra. it is affecting the most. And there are certain emotions that you will experience, as well as any Leos that you know in your life or people just around you, even if you're not a Leo. So the emotions and the feelings that you may be experiencing during this season is loss, grief, heart opening, abandonment, and acceptance. So loss in the sense of maybe you're ending a cycle, maybe you're ending this spotlight of validation from the ego and you're clearing it. And maybe for some of you, it's this loss of feeling abandoned, of feeling afraid, of feeling, scared, and actually lost, like you felt like you lost your light because maybe you've gone or you are going through a shadowed period or a dark night of the soul. So you may be feeling that. And after loss comes the grief, the feeling of grieving, the feeling of heaviness in your heart. So calling in the new moon of Leo to support you and really open that up. Now, luckily, because we just had the Lionsgate that happened on the 8/8 portal on August 8th, you kind of had a little bit of that grief lifted. So you should feel this depth in it. You should feel this clarity coming through. And if not, I'm posting a distance energy healing meditation for you guys. So I got you. Love. It is a very heart-opening, very big, powerful new moon. So for some of you guys, you may be feeling a new beginning in your relationship, especially intimate relationships. Maybe some of you are getting engaged. Maybe some of you are feeling more depth in your heart. Maybe some of you are feeling this deepening love for yourself that you haven't felt in a very long time or not at all. Maybe you go through and witness someone else's love and that opens your heart. Maybe you're going to a wedding. Maybe you are going to a specific baby shower, an event. Any of that resonates with you. This is a time during this 3 days before the day of and 3 days after on August 16, 2023, where you're going to really feel that open up. Abandonment. So for some of you, maybe you're feeling and you're realizing, where do I abandon myself, or where have I felt abandoned in the past? And this causes you to have what I'm going to go into a little bit more, this anxious attachment. Anxious attachment happens when we feel like we're not enough to get anything more, or when we feel like someone has left us abruptly. And this happens at a young age based on an event. So it could be like a parent left, or I've heard clients that one of their parents kidnapped them and that really triggered them and caused that abandonment wound. So all these are examples of where the abandonment can happen. It could be as simple as you went to school and your parents didn't pick you up on time and you felt abandoned at school, right? So these little moments can cause imprints in our being. And this new moon in Leo is to really teach us to hold that moment, hold ourselves, give ourselves what we needed at that time to reprogram and understand, where am I feeling anxiously attached in my life? And also, where do I feel avoidant in my life, right? That's another thing with abandonment. You can be completely avoidant, because if you avoid or you don't commit to certain relationships, things in your life, then and you're trying to protect yourself from heartbreak. You're trying to protect your heart, when realistically what you're doing is the opposite. You're hurting it more. Whew, deep. Take a deep breath. That's a deep one. Acceptance. That's another thing you can feel during the heart chakra, during this opening of this Leo new moon, is acceptance. There's this depth of acceptance. What are you accepting right now in your season? What are you being called to accept more for you, or in your reality, or in your life? And really honoring that. The next thing you need to know about this new moon in Leo that's happening on August 16th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is that people are realizing the old ways of influencing celebrities' success are having a tower moment, and the new spotlight is community impact through the heart. Greed is being brought to the light, and heart-led intentions will shine brighter. Woo, that was deep. So we're getting kind of more into the collective reading. I'm going to just go into this a little bit more. So this Leo new moon is going to really show us that the old ways of media and this world and this recognition, and even the old ways of how our parents and the ancestors before would be recognized for what they did and what they wanted, ways that they considered and measured success, is completely being and measured love, right? Like to get married, to have kids, to do this. Like this new shift that is happening all the way to 2027, that is being rewritten. It's more conscious, it's more aligned. So for any person that may be in the eyes of the public, we're going to be seeing, and we might even see this in the news, we're going to see this like spotlight being shown of where their ego is being wounded and their real intention of why they did certain things. So we're definitely going to see that. And we're also going to see where people are really stepping into communities. So anyone that maybe you notice that are very community based and they have online spotlight, or maybe it's you, like you're recognizing a community led impact. Like it's very heart led. It's not about the money, the rewards. It's more about how you're leaving a lasting impression and expansion, and your heart gets fulfilled while doing this. Especially if you're a Leo sign, like this is really kind of where you're at. You're also going to see in the public eye, and this may happen through politicians, celebrities, like kind of this greed being brought into the light. So maybe, for example, having like people coming forward and exposing people for not being truthful about where money goes, or not being truthful about their intentions about a certain project. So we are seeing that on a collective, and I'm sensing that. And again, for those who are heart-led, they're going to be rewarded, they're going to be recognized, and there's going to be a huge ripple of impact that they're going to do in their community. But I am sensing that something is going to be revealed in the celebrity world around shadow of ego, and we'll just have to wait and see. You guys will have to update me in the comments what you notice. The next thing is your boss owes you nothing. Your clients owes you nothing. The only person that owes you something is yourself, period. You know, I have this thing that people say when they have a job or partners or friendships. It's like this entitlement. I call it the princess prince, the royal card. This happens a lot where people feel entitled, and this comes from our wounded self, our hurt self, entitled to think it's about me. It's about me. Like, I suffered, I went through it, I went through the trauma. Your ego's about to get triggered, so just take a breath with me. I did this, all that. I can tell you right now, your boss owes you nothing. Because at the end of the day, when you are that abandoned wound, any of those emotions I shared, the loss, the grief, when that is being fired up in your being, in your heart, we look at people for that validation and to have our princess prince moment, to have our royalty moment and be like, well, this isn't fair. Well, this is blah, blah, blah. And this happens. I had my princesses moments as well. Oh my God, it's not fair. Why do I always have to heal? Why do I have to? We all go through that. Why can't it be easier, right? We let that version of us rant during this Leo new moon. But what we recognize is that they owe us nothing. But I want to ask you something. Your princess, your prince, that version of you, what do you owe yourself though? And that is the new intentions. You can write this as a shadow work prompt. I highly suggest this. What do you owe yourself? How have you given yourself something here? And are you able to receive that fully from your heart? Because, you know, I tell this all the time with people, especially my people I mentor. You know, they're always like, well, I don't understand how I can't do this, and I want to do YouTube, and I want to do blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they owe you nothing at the end of the day. What makes your ego entitled enough to think that they owe you something? They don't owe you anything at that point. But where you can step into it is, what do you owe yourself? And when you can step into what do you owe yourself, then you're more heart-led, then you're more humbled in the heart, but yet still powerful, still confident, right? So a lot of you are going to be just, I guess, how do I say this, checked during this new moon in Leo, where maybe there's some entitlement and some privilege that will be revealed. And a part of you is going to want to be angry and reactive. Not the time for that. Trust me, it's not going to be worth it. Like, that reaction is just going to come back and karmically. But instead, take a breath and ask yourself, what do I owe myself in this situation? How can I look at it that way? Trust me, you'll thank me later. You'll thank me later. It'll save you a lot. The last thing I want to share is things to focus on. So I did write a couple things I want to focus on before I pull some cards. I know you guys have been here with me for a bit, but this one was big. I had so many messages. I don't know if it's because I just got back and I'm just like channeled in. That's probably why, channeled in. But I want to talk about things to do because you guys have always asked, 𝐸𝐲𝐤, can you let us know what are some things to do for our practices for the new moon and full moon? So I actually got a list for you guys. So you can write it down and have it all here. So heart chakra meditations are great. I'm actually going to be posting for you guys a Leo new moon distance healing meditation as I always do. So again, make sure you subscribe and put notification bell so you know when that's up, and add yourself to the email list so you can have other tools that will support you. The second thing also to what to focus on and do is where are you hiding in your life versus where are you anxiously attached or avoidant to the spotlight being shown in your life. So where there's invitations, new doors being opened, and yes, it can be hard to change. I get transitions hard. We just had the Lion's Gate. Of course it's gonna happen on the 16th of August. This is the ripple effect of everything you claimed on that day, literally. So again, and if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's a whole energy update on that. But this one's really talking about that. So what you can do is you can write down, where am I hiding my life? And then on the other page, you can talk about where is anxious attachment or avoidance to the spotlight, to myself being shown in my life, and where can I really look at those things. The next thing is to create new habits that will help you open your heart. So really asking yourself, where can I open my heart more? Wherever your energy is being focused right now. So it could be career, it could be your intimate relationship, it could be friendships, it could be yourself, it could be whatever way that you want to, but where can I open my heart a little bit more in my life? So those are all the things for what you need to know. I'm gonna pull 2 cards for you guys and then I'm gonna wrap up the video. Please let me know in the comments what's hitting for you. I know this was a deep one. I always tell you guys, it's gonna be deep. And then I go so deep and I'm like, man, I'm really telling you guys all the things. I'm really giving it to you. But you know me, like I feel like if I didn't, that wouldn't be me. So let's just be honest. So let's pull some cards for you guys. So take a deep breath and just let's pull and see what we need to know for this Leo new moon. Pulling some cards. And for those asking, I'm using the Earth Warrior and Light Worker Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild, which is like the card I use all the time. Okay. We got 5 cards. Can I just say 5 is the number of change? So these cards are going to tell you what you need to change for this new moon in Leo. No good thing shall be withheld. Okay? No good thing will be withheld. Like, and this card is 9, which 9 is ending. So it's like, what parts of you feel that you're in this still lack frequency? Like something is being held, like the universe is doing something against you. They're not doing that. So when the wisdom of the divine feminine reaches for you, the message is clear. You are in a process to becoming more of heaven on earth. Sometimes there are growing pains alongside of joy, such as growth brings, and you may feel concerned thinking your pain is an indication that you are failing in some way. In no way are you failing. If your spotlight is feeling the fear of the being in the spotlight or feeling the wounded ego, it's just recognizing an awareness, and now you get to learn from that space. You may judge your suffering and a sign that you are not operating at a high enough frequency. Be compassionate with your soul. Yet, how many spiritual masters upon the planet endured great suffering as well as experiences tremendous love and joy in the fulfillment of their divine destiny? Think of Martin Luther King. Think of Nelson Mandela. Think of Gandhi. Think of, I just had the person in my mind. Any person who has made impact. Jesus, you know, Mary Magdalene, like all these beings and many, many more. There's just a few that I named. They all went through endured suffering. Not saying that you need to. Some people are here to witness suffering and others are here to actually go through it. But regardless of what part you are, is like, how can I tap into being compassionate with myself? Understanding that suffering can actually bring me to the feminine path of creation. breaking away from me feeling so small when actually I'm part of something much bigger that I'm not even aware of, and tuning into my heart of what that looks like for me. How can I be part of that conscious expansion of this divine new earth that we're creating 2027? There's a joy of eventful freedom, but the act of breaking through can feel painful sometimes. Sometimes breaking that glass will be painful, but it's even more painful looking at the glass that you need to break. Boom. Okay. So when it gets difficult and you feel that doubt, sometimes it scares you and there's this challenging, just remember to breathe through these really deep growing pains. It will support you. And just understanding that perhaps the life that you envisioned looks very different than what you're experiencing now. And this wisdom is to remind you of the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow in what is desired to become your own seeking being. Okay, I just noticed I read to you guys the Oracle one, which is number 9. So I guess this was meant for you because I literally read the wrong book, but like I read this one and I was supposed to read this one to you guys, but I feel like this really resonates. So I'm just going to listen to spirit. The universe supports your divine destiny in the helping you become that's meant to be. So that was not this card, but it was the card that was in this deck that I opened in this book. And I honestly feel like it resonates for you guys. Since we're on this deck, we're going to continue and we'll go back to that first card. Reassurance, the golden light. I love this card. Reassurance, the golden light is 36. The golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe as an expansion of divine comfort and the sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, is going to work out perfectly. They are held in graceful hands of the divine and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you might expect. So again, if you're feeling strife, pain, or any of that, just knowing that the golden light, I just want to represent that this light gives me like Christ consciousness vibes, like looking at the golden light of the consciousness above you, holding you fully, and looking up to it and receiving the raining shine of support. Golden light upon the end of the tunnel. Past life activation. Oh my God, I got so much to share with you guys with this one. This one is 35, past life activation. There's a door, the golden door. You are going to be going back to a past life. This might be a relationship. This might have been a point where your heart was broken, maybe abandonment. Maybe you didn't have those feelings in this life, but there is a past life that's going to come up, and it may come up in a dream. It may come up in a feeling. It may come up in a relationship in this lifetime, that someone that you were deeply connected with in another past life. And because this is a time for you to clear that or to understand it more. You have talents within that have been developed through many varied lifetimes. You have had lifetimes already, even if you don't recall, consciously helping you evolve and grow into the loving being that you are today. Your desire to grow in consciousness and the spiritual power to assist the divine plan unfolding throughout the universe is heard and supported by the spiritual world in all ways. To this end, the past life material is being activated now and for your benefits and the greater good. So something I want to share with you guys, for a lot of you that might have the witch wound, for a lot of you in past lives that did come back, and maybe you have remembering that of the gifts or what you did in those lives. And I always say, don't be too attached to past lives. A lot of people like to talk about it so much because it makes them feel comfortable. But when you focus on this lifetime and understand what that past life has to do with this lifetime, you'll get more clarity. Okay, so the moment you focus on this lifetime, the past lives and all of the ones that are connected to that will automatically clear. However, it can be helpful for people to go to past lives. Sometimes I do a past life regression for people to just bring that familiar emotion, but I always tell them in integration to really focus on how does it relate to your current life. As far as the heart, it's understanding where have you felt like your gifts have been restricted, and where can you add some new practices to love your gifts, to love yourself in the spotlight, in this new version of you, in this conscious version of you, and lead in that way. You're being supported in your talents, and it's time for you to recognize that. The last card I have here is a full masculine karmic clearing, number 5. Oh my god, there's 5 cards. Look at this. Karmic clearing. It's giving me solar plexus power vibes, your inner power. Let's read this one. You are fast outgrowing the level of consciousness to which you attach a particular wound and issues to struggles. Can I just say I'm literally screaming right now because I told you guys. I literally told you guys. What did I say earlier? Maybe I'll do a rerun of it. I told you guys that there's an attachment, anxiously attached. Remember that word? Avoidant, right? So you are outgrowing a consciousness. You are making yourself small in some way. And Leo is saying that the wound and the trauma of what you've looked up, you looked up to your wounds, you looked up to your trauma. Now it's like time to let that go, honey. We're not doing that no more. Like, nah. Okay, so as you outgrow the consciousness, these issues will release their grip on you. You'll finally feel like you're out of the hamster wheel. You'll finally feel like you're out of the shackles of the universe, because the universe doesn't want to do things bad for you. What they want you to do is actually get yourself out of that. But it's you that's creating that karmic bond. It's a choice, right? You are receiving divine notice that the karmic clearing is taking place through the combination of your own efforts and the spiritual grace from your heart of the divine. It is time for the old wound to be released once and for all. What is the old wound in your heart? Whether it's abandonment, heartbreak, loss, grief, acceptance, whatever it is in your heart, call into your heart and ask yourself what needs to be karmically cleared. Write that down. What needs to be karmically cleared that I can't see? Show me, Leo, new moon. This will support you, okay? Karma is never a punishment. Essentially, it's a soul lesson. When you shift it from being a punishment to a soul lesson, now you're stepping into the power of your heart. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's finally get into the Earth Warrior card. Let me know if that resonated, because that was a very potent one, and I still have 2 cards for you guys. Let me read the actual 9 card. I'm gonna show it to you guys again. That's crazy. I pulled out the 9 from this deck, and then I read the other deck. So obviously it was for us. And there's blessings of Kumu, which is no good thing shall be withheld. Resources are coming for you now. Lion's Gate, of course. You just stepped into the portal. The portal's still activated, by the way, today. If you have been in a lack, limitation of anxiety and such things happening, relax and substitute the stress, for the absolute trust of the universe will provide all good things and generosity and grace. If you find you're challenging, take a step in at the time, reprogramming your heart, literally everything. And sometimes it's good for visuals though. I like visual cards. It helps, you know. And mind into new habits of peaceful trust, and it will feel much better to live like this. It is not foolishness, but wisdom that embraces such unconditional faith. Know that the provision of the resources required is certainty, not uncertainty. The only variable are the details of how the journey unfolds. When you tune in to your heart, you'll remember that you are loved, protected, and guided in every moment. Trust the universe. Ooh, don't we just love that? Don't we just love when that universe comes in? So good things shall be withheld. Remember, no good things. There's nothing the universe is hiding from you. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. You don't need to always suffer all the time. Yes, I talked about people have to witness suffer and be in suffering, but there's also like you choosing to be in the cycle of suffering. You know, I always tell people when they do shadow work that like, okay, we're doing the shadow work, but are you enjoying the expansion you've done? Or when was the last time you enjoyed all the work you've done, all the healing you've done? Or are you just focusing on the next thing to fix, right? Because you need to fix that before you get into the spotlight. Mic drop. Okay, that is an old belief that needs to be cleared. That's not real. That's not true, right? You can be in the spotlight and not have everything pulled together. Okay, I don't know. Someone needed to hear that. Let me know if that was you. Okay, last card I'm gonna pull for you guys, and then we're gonna close it. Katiki, guardian of Patupunu. Look how beautiful. This is just giving me all vibes here. This is number 10. Beautiful card. So this card, just because we had 9 and this is number 10, This is giving me the vibe. This is what's to come after you've understood that you've let go of the fear that the universe is withholding something from you, that you're missing something, that you're not good enough. And when you do, this is what's going to happen. Make peace and let go. The past issues around being abandoned or not understood, of feeling or unsupported, as those experiences no longer color your worldview. Trust that you belong here and that there is a connection to the Earth Goddess will support you in all ways. You are sensitive, and rightfully so. Never judge your sensitivity and feel that you are overreacting. Leos get this a lot. It's a Leo moon, I can say this. You're too emotional. Why are you so emotional? Why are you overreacting? Why da-da-da? Whether you say that to yourself or someone has told you that, this is a way that you can clear that with the no one is holding anything against you. No one wants the worst for you. No one's judging you. Stop believing that and really come and receive that sensitive version of you. Never judge your sensitivity or overreacting, but also allow the nature to calm and soothe you so that you can focus on accomplishing your soul mission. Don't let that stray you. It's a distraction that the universe is giving you a test to stick to your heart. If you feel that you are on your own when you would like some help, allow the Divine Mother to be your friend and guide, whilst trusting the more allies and will arrive at the right moment. The Earth Mother has her own sense of timing, and you are not forgotten. You are just growing according to her wisdom and grace. Have faith in yourself and in her. Love this. This is the Mother holding you. It's holding you in all of the abundance that you just claimed in the Leo energy, in the Lion's Gate, which is literally Leo's. And I want to just share with you guys that from Lion's Gate, August 8th, 2023 to this new moon energy, the gate is still open. It closes after the new moon. So again, if you want to do the Lion's Gate meditation, I highly suggest you doing it, as well as the one that I'm going to be posting for this Leo new moon. It might already be up for you guys, depending on when you watch, so go check it out. But I really do feel like this is a pivotal time. This new moon is really showing you in 3D reality the changes that you have claimed, and you actually stepping up in the spotlight of everything you manifested for the Lion's Gate. And it's overwhelming, but just know that you can do it, and you don't have to have everything fixed in order for you to step into that energy, to step into that essence, to step into who you are. As cheesy as it sounds, but it's true. Like this fixing mentality that unfortunately the collective has created, that through going back collectively with celebrities and leaders, is the false leaders that are going to be shown during this new moon, and the real heart-led ones that are focusing on community and how they are a collective ripple to this world. We're all connected. We're all connected to the universe, which means we're all connected as beings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below what resonated with you. Feel free to rewatch this because I did drop a lot for you guys. I just felt like as soon as I channeled, I was like, oh my God, there's so much I shared here. And I feel really good sharing this in-depth energy update with you guys where you can just chill and receive. And let me know what's hitting for you. How are you feeling during this Leo new moon? What's coming up emotionally? What emotions did I share that maybe is coming up for you? And I definitely suggest you guys follow me on TikTok as well as Instagram. It's 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭_. And I only have one account. I do not message you for things, please. There's so many weirdos out there. So yeah, just, you know, really, I take that back, not weirdos, but there's so many people that unfortunately don't know who they are, and they end up taking advantage of things. So clearing that out. But all this to say is, if you want to connect, this is a great way where I add more energy updates and just little updates with you guys, and cool to connect with you there. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells. It helps a lot. And if you're watching this, most likely majority of you are not subscribed. Please subscribe. It helps the community. And if you're coming here anyways all the time, why not? Add yourself to the email list to learn more, especially with healings, group circles, retreats. My last retreat of the year is still open. The Ancestral Retreat, Untold Stories, apply down below in my link tree, as well as my one-on-ones are open for fall. So if you are interested in that, email me through my link tree, send me a message, and I would love to hold you. Limited spots will be available. Yeah, I feel like that's it. This was great. I love this, hanging out with you guys. on this beautiful sunny day in front of this bright window. I hope you have a beautiful new moon in Leo, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Bye.